Dear Dhamma friends, what is the topic of today? The nature of craving. What is the Pali word for this? Tanha. No, I think this is very common and very popular, and this is the one of the root of our minds. This is a kind of main root of our mind. This is actually you can't eradicate completely at once. This is very dangerous. I used a name to the kilesa called Anangana. There is a very rare words called Anangana in the Tripitaka. It refers to introduce like a kilesa, but it is small. It's very small one, like anxiety, overthinking. We can make that. But if we talk about the craving, it's totally different. You cannot eradicate completely at once. You need to practice. In Buddhism, more explain that as a mother and father. Who is the mother and father of the inner matter? Hatred, delusion, craving. What is the inner forest of Buddhism? Same thing. Craving, hatred, delusion. What's the mother and father of the inner element? From craving arises sorrow, sadness. No? If you have sadness, what's the reason? Craving. According to this statement. Then tanhaya jayati bayang. From craving arises fear. Isn't it? Think about that. You want to protect your husband and wife, no? You don't like to, if somebody talk with your husband or wife, you don't like, no? You have a fear. Or somebody going to catch my husband and wife, no, like that. We think. We have a fear because of craving. If somebody, you have a lot of friends, then they are going to collect more friends. They are going to skip you. Then you have jealous, you have craving. So therefore you want to collect more and more things. Therefore you have fear that because of craving. Try to understand that because of craving arises sorrow, because of craving arises fear, both. And for one free from craving, there is no sorrow, so as well as there is no fear, both. Then if somebody can eradicate craving or attachment from your mind, you don't have fear or sorrow in your mind. That's the main explanation preached by the Buddha. Then now I'm going to explain the word tanha, like what is the meaning, like that. The word tanha literally means thirst. Literally meaning thirst. We are suffering something. It is the restless longing that pushes us from one thing to another, never fully satisfied. That's the craving. The Buddha explained three main kinds of tanha, craving, in Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta too, the first Dhamma discourse of Buddha. In that sutta also Buddha really explained about the three kind of craving, attachment. What is the first one? Kama tanha. Craving for sensual pleasures, foods, wealth, pleasures of the senses. That is the kama tanha. What's the meaning of kama tanha? Craving for sensual pleasures, foods, wealth, pleasures of the senses. That is kama tanha. Then bhava tanha, craving for existence, for becoming something, status, identity, even rebirth. Sometimes we do the meritorious action by thinking our next life. That's the thing. You want to get a higher position than this life, no? That is also craving. If you want to be a like deva, deity, a god, think about that. You have a craving. That meaning you are not satisfied in this life. You want to accumulate more. Even it is a higher position, but still they are also suffering craving, no? Even the deities too, they are also suffering craving. As vibhava tanha, craving for non-existence, annihilation. So what is that meaning? Can you understand that? Can you imagine that somebody who doesn't believe rebirth, he doesn't believe rebirth, they say this is the one and only life that we have achieved. Right, okay. Then from every form of craving ties us down to the circle of dukkha. Even kama tanha, bhava tanha, vibha tanha, whatever craving, every form of craving ties us down to the circle of dukkha. What else? There is a nice story which came from Dhammapada story, Dhammapada commentary. Then there's a nice story. What is that? Story of Matta Kundali. What is the name of the story? Story of Matta Kundali. Once in the city of Savatthi, there lived a very wealthy Brahmin. Through which he was miserably attached to his gold and possessions. His only son was named Matta Kundali. He had only one and only child. Now I am going to explain more information about the craving and the Machari. There are two words, remember very well. There are two words to explain our craving. One is craving. It's okay, you know that. What is the tanha? What are the other words? Machari. This, when you study this story, you will be able to understand what is Machari. Machari meaning too much, more than like, I will explain more that, how to say that. Craving is like, you like to collect properties, like cars, dog, children, you want to collect. But Machari meaning what? You don't like to spend for the to your life. That's the reason. If somebody has money, he doesn't spend money on behalf of you. That's the reason. And if somebody doesn't spend to your life, then not going to spend to others. That is the Machari. That's a different craving. Then likewise, one day Makkali fell seriously ill. Who is the Makkali? Matta Kundali? Who is the Matta Kundali? Yeah, Brahmin's son. I didn't mention name of the Brahmin. However, there was a rich Brahmin who had a son called Matta Kundali. Matta Kundali fell seriously ill. He had illness. Out of extreme stinginess. This is the word to explain to Machari. I don't know, I correct pronunciation like that. Stinginess like that, no? Yeah, this is the correct word to Machari. Too much, like too much craving. Then, out of extreme stinginess, the father refused to spend money on proper doctor or medicine. Now, he doesn't like to spend money on behalf of his own son. He think, oh, if I go to doctor with my son, I will have to spend money. Oh, this is very dangerous for my properties. Like this, he doesn't like to go to meet a doctor for the medicine, for his son, his own son. That is called machari. But craving is different. If you have a cravings, sometimes you go with your son and you get medicine. Sometimes you don't like to give something to others, but you like to spend for your family members. No? But if you have a machari, you don't like to spend to your family too. That's the reason. Then the father refused to spend money on proper doctor or medicine. He thought like this: if I spend my wealth, I will be wasted. Let me keep my gold safe. He didn't like to spend money. Then, as the boy grew weaker and weaker, the father even dreaded that visitors might see his wealth. Now he think like this: oh, now my son is very weak. Then sometime if he will die, somebody come to my house to see him, no? Then at that time what will happen? Oh, everybody see my wealth. Sometime I will have to spend money too. Then what did he do? He carried him outside the house and let him on the veranda. Think how behavior the machari, too much craving. Then not out of compassion, but so that when the body died, the dead body could be easily removed without polluting the house. No need to decorate like that. Like this, he did such a kind of thing because of he has machari, too much craving. At the moment, the Buddha, out of compassion, happened to pass by on arms round through very weak Matta Kundali, saw the radiant figure of the Buddha full of compassion and serenity. The Buddha had a good out of compassion on Matta Kundali. Then he decided to meet Matta Kundali, but unfortunately Matta Kundali was unable to move body here and there. He saw only what? The radiant finger of the Buddha, shadow, or shining shadow like that. She saw only that. But at that time, he developed the confidence. Oh, this is the Buddha. Oh, he came out of compassion on me. Then he developed confidence or saddha, full of compassion and serenity. A spark of devotion arose in his heart. He had now good confidence in his mind. Then a spark of devotion arose in his heart with his last breath. What was the final thought? The confidence on Buddha. As a result of that, he directed his mind towards the blessed one. In that moment of faith, he passed away and was immediately reborn in the Tavatimsa heaven. There is a heaven called Tavatimsa. But what of his father? Still he living, but he sat grieving and lamenting. He was upset now. He had a bad feeling about this incident. He think in that way, my only son had died, my wealth cannot bring him back. His mind was filled with sorrow, the direct fruit of craving and attachment. That's why earlier I mentioned Tanhaya Jayati Soko. If you have a greediness of craving, you have the sorrow, then you will meet sorrow. That's the reason. Likewise, seeing his father's grief, Mattakundale now a deva, because finally he developed confidence, saddha, by thinking Buddha's qualities. Oh, Buddha came to meet me. Then he developed saddha. As a result of that, he was born as a deva, or higher supernatural being. Then a deva appeared before him in radiate from and said, Father, wealth cannot save from death. Remember this statement. What is that? Father, wealth cannot save us from death. All your gold could not protect me, or all your properties could not protect me, but a single moment of faith in the Buddha has brought me heavenly happiness. Whatever you have in life, earlier also I mentioned one of the most popular stanzas preached by the Buddha. The ignorance person always think, Putta Mattiyo, I have so many, I have daughters, I have sons. Only think that. And about the wealth, oh, I have so many properties like that. But Buddha said, Attahayattononatti, you don't have even yourself. Kuto putto kuto dhanan, then where is daughter or son, where is requirements, properties? No, nothing. But ignorant person think only that, like Mattakundali. What was happened to, Mattakundali's father? Father, wealth cannot save from death. All your gold cannot protect me. But a single moment of faith in the Buddha has brought me heavenly happiness. Better than clinging to possessions in the mind free from craving. And likewise, the Deva, or son of Brahmin, explained to his father about the dangerous moment of the craving. And hearing this, the Brahmin realized his mistake. His attachment had brought him sorrow, but his son's freedom from clinging had brought him peace. He later went to the Buddha and took refuge in the Dhamma. Finally, he decided to practice Dhamma. When we understand, when we realize this story beautifully illustrates our verse. From craving for wealth, for firmness arises sorrow, but from letting go arises freedom. In Tanhadasa Sutta, there are 10 craving. How many craving? 10 craving. How about the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta? We had 3, I already mentioned. Kamatanna, Bhavatanna, Vibhavatanna. Now we have 10 craving according to Tanhadasa Sutta. Tanhadasa Sutta, like we are labor to, we are doing so many things to our craving. What is the first one? Rupatanna, craving for forms. Rupatanna, craving for forms. How we can catch from? By using our eye sense. We want to grasp so many visible forms. How many visible forms have you seen in this moment? From in this time, how many visible forms? We have, I think we have seen billions visible forms. Are you satisfied? No. You want to more and more see many visible forms. That is like that. That's why we are moving our eyes to see something. No, think about our eyes searching something visible form. We have seen, I think, more than millions forms we have seen, but not enough. Still we are searching by using our eye sense. That is called visual objects or rupa tanha. What is the second one? Saddha tanha, craving for sounds. How many sounds? How much sounds have you heard? We cannot count, no? Are you satisfied? No. Again and again you want to listen music or whatever thing. That is kind of a craving. Because we are not satisfied. Then gandha tanha, craving for smells. Then rasa tanha, craving for tastes. Pottabba tanha, craving for touch. Dhamma tanha, craving for ideas and thoughts. What is that? Can you get some idea? Okay, I will explain very simple way. Now you know we have 5 sense. By using 5 sense, we catch rupa or visible form, sounds, smells, tastes. What else? Touch, like that. We have another sense called mana indriya. That meaning sense of mind. That is not mind. Okay, we have another word called mind. That is different. This is sense of mind. This is a kind of a tool. Then we have now. Do you have imagination, or do you have some pictures in your mind? Your home pictures. Think about that. If I think about your house, can you imagine that? I think you can. By using what? Mana indriya or mind sense. Can you go to downtown now? You can. Imagine that there are banks, schools. Imagine that. How you can go? By using your mind sense. Then you have accumulated a lot of things by using your 5 sense. Then all collections grasp Dhamma tanha, or craving for ideas and thoughts, mental objects. Yes, like an organ, like that. Then we have another, Rupa tanha, craving for existence in the form world, fine material realms. Rupa tanha, when you practice meditation, this is very important, okay? You are practicing meditation. The most of I think, lot of religion explain about the meditation. Different kind of meditation. We also have meditation. This is the difference between our practices and the other practices. We practice yoga, Hindus practice also and Christian, everybody practice meditation, but this is the turning point of our meditation. The Buddha did not advise to guide our thoughts to achieve supernatural power. He wanted to destroy, eradicated defilements. By thinking that, please practice meditation. But in other teaching, the most probably they guide to, like, there was a the well-known teacher in the Buddha's period. Then Buddha practiced meditation, their meditation, but Buddha finally, eventually Buddha realized, what is this meditation? What is the final targets of this meditation? They said, our final target is to get higher position, like Rupa Bhava, Rupa Tanha. We want to get like a Deva or like a supernatural being. Then Buddha said, this is the development they highly appreciate, but kind of a craving. Then craving for existence in the form world, Rupa Tanha. We want to get a higher position. You want to be a Deva or higher being like that. Then what is the next one? Arupa Tanha, craving for existence in the formless world. We have another world called Arupa Bhava. There is no specific physical body. Yeah, we have thoughts also called Rupa Tanha. We have the place called Rupa Bhava. Then somebody likes to achieve that position. If I can live without body, it will be funny like that. We imagine that because of our physical body, what will happen? But we are suffering so many illness, no? Then somebody think, if you don't have physical body, we don't have a physical illness. Then somebody practice meditation to get higher that's kind of position. That is called Arupa Tanha. Like that. Then Vibhava Tanha, craving for non-becoming, destruction or inhalation. Vibhava, I explained that earlier also. Somebody don't believe next life or reincarnation, rebirth. Then this is the one and only life. We can do anything like that. You try to achieve only self-indulgence like that. You want to enjoy the life. Only that. Then last one, final one. Bhavatanha Anagatam. This is the last one. Sometimes simply Bhavatanha, craving for future becoming, desires for future existence, rebirth. It is quite similar, but however, think about 10 craving of our mind, which came from our mind. When we look at closely, we see these 10 craving cover everything in life, all our running, grasping and anxieties come from these. Then think about the Matta Kundali's father was caught in craving for possessions. You know Kisa Gautami story, I mentioned that the last sermon. Kisa Gautami, who will speak of shortly, was caught in craving for permanence of loved one. Each of us can find our own examples. Because of this is application. If you want to eradicate craving, attachment from your mind, this is the teaching methods that you can practice. Mindfulness. Notice when the mind says, I want, I must have, just recognize craving. That's the practical way that we can practice mindfulness. How? Notice when the mind says, I want, I must have, just recognize craving. Generosity. Next day, you have a Dhamma topic about generosity. However, giving weakness, cleaning, each act of sharing, looseness, tanha. Like if you want to eradicate your tanha, you need to practice generosity. Think about that in that way. If you have a lack of knowledge of technology, what do you have to do? You have to go to class and learn, no? technology class. You don't want to go to Chinese class or like that. Then if you have a hatred, what you have to practice? Don't practice generosity, then you have to practice loving kindness. If you have a greediness, what you can practice? You need to practice generosity, giving. That's the only tool that you have to use. Reflection of impermanence, anicca, everything changed. See, this truth is in people, possessions, even in our own body. Think impermanence. Then only you can reduce your craving. Meditation, last time. Sit quickly, observe craving, arise and pass away. It's not permanent, it is non-self.